Hey folks, welcome back to our Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Runelords. Runelords is a self-published title. It's for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, and games range anywhere from 45 to 180 minutes. Runelords is a hybrid tabletop gaming experience based in the world of the best-selling fantasy series by legendary author David Farland. Players first choose from 4 dynamic Runelords, each with their own reinforcement cards that have a physical presence on the battlefield, as well as support cards with additional spells and abilities that are drawn and played from a deck of cards during battle. Now, reinforcements are sent into hex-based combat, where you, as the players, will enjoy simple but robust tactical engagement. Win conditions will be based on the game mode chosen from the Battle Compendium, and what makes this game so unique is sovereignty, which is an optional play aspect of the game, adding more depth once you've gotten used to how the Runelords play. In this stage of play, players will take the pre-built armies of their selected Runelords and mash them into a deck building and resource management engine. Then, after several rounds of play, you will take the armies you've built onto the battlefield for a more unique, more strategic gaming experience. Now, there are several overview videos if you want more info on how the game plays. However, this is a relaunch of Runelords, and the publisher has made great strides to streamline this gameplay. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 changes. First off, let's take a look at bookkeeping, which is possibly the most important change in the game. In the previous version, players would tally their skill bonuses before rolling a d20 against a target's defense value, then check for wounds and effects before completing an attack. However, now, to streamline this process, the game simply has players roll a d6, and that single result will tell the attacker all they need to know. 1. The wounds that are dealt are simply what the dice face reveals. Next, if there's an icon present on the dice, circle, triangle, or star, then you would perform all the corresponding effects found on the card along with the wounds. No longer will you be checking 3 places. It's all consolidated to the new battle dice, which is such a big improvement. And to stay true to the original concept of recruits having varying power levels, the battle dice are tiered into 4 colors, each weighing more towards success and dealing more wounds and firing off advanced criticals more often. The best, of course, being purple, and the worst being black, which is the only way to completely miss in the game. Next, let's take a look at clutter. Yes, clutter. What does that mean? Well, in the old version, despite how easy the game actually was to learn and play, and as an example, both Becca Scott and I learned this game basically on the fly as we filmed at Geek and Sundry for Game the Game. And it's interesting to note that in that video, the number of components on the table might have given the impression that the game was way more complex than it actually was. So now, to mitigate this, all equipment tokens and their bags have been entirely removed and transitioned into cards. When a player wishes to equip a recruit, you simply slide the equipment underneath, revealing the abilities of that card. This really does streamline not only gameplay, but as I said, the clutter on the table. Now let's talk speed of play, activation, and action points. Before, players would predetermine the initiative order of their recruits before each round. This was strategic, but it led to more time and debating over options. So now, to pick up the pace a bit during combat, players can now choose whatever recruit they wish to activate, whenever they wish to activate them. Simply choose a war zone, declare that it's active, and go. When they are done, they will flip their marker to complete. Also, to increase speed of play, they've streamlined actions. So there's only one way to perform them now. Every action in the game will cost 1 of 3 action points to perform. You flip the marker over to show it's been spent and play that ability. And for those actions that are free to perform, those will have a blue icon, easily identifiable. Now let's just briefly talk a little bit about this sovereignty stage. Again, this is an optional play aspect of the game, but now, despite an overhaul on how cards are purchased in the game, the concepts of the deck builder has not changed. The removal of equipment tokens has sped up market restocking time. Also, you no longer have to save influence between rounds, so you simply buy what you can that round and move on. Finally, let's talk about playing recruits. So last but certainly not least, of course, as recruits are vital to gameplay. So since all cards are now consolidated into one deck, players will now randomly draw into recruits. This gives you exciting new options as you can either hold a recruit in your hand, so in case a deployed recruit is removed from play and you need to replace it with something new, or you can simply play the recruit from your hand like any other card by spending the declaration points of a recruit that is in play. Now, as an example, if you want that peacekeeper with an attack range of 1 to be able to shoot a target at range, well, then spend the action point and discard that Houndmaster from your hand to give that peacekeeper a ranged attack on that turn. The combos are endless in this game, but be careful, if that peacekeeper dies in battle, it might have been better to have held on to the Houndmaster for deployment later. So this should give you a glimpse into how much work they put into the gaming experience and what's new. But like I said before, please go check out their other videos to see more of how the game plays. Alright folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now with that said, I really enjoyed aspects of the original game in the long form, so to say, and I learned and played with Becca and others. Now, I'm pretty excited about these new changes because it really does streamline play, and it makes the game move very quickly. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like something that would be of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.